Welcome to episode 4 of Let's Have Words. I'm Jonathan Stone, and this podcast is produced by Forerunner. If you have any questions about getting involved, please let us know by contacting us on Facebook or emailing us at info@forerunner.tv. This week's episode is once again brought to you by Duke Cannon. Duke Cannon is a purveyor of superior quality grooming goods for the hardworking man. Duke Cannon products are made in the US of A, and all sales benefit our veterans. Check out DukeCannon.com and use my code BBLHW for Let's Have Words, BBLHW for 10% off your purchase. And a quick reminder, please like, share, and comment on whatever platform it is that you are listening or watching on. If you are on YouTube, I feel like we have to say, pound that like button. Is that a thing? They still do that? Pound that like button?
It's smash.
Smash that like button. Dang. Now I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, smash that like button. All right, guys. So we're going to hop into this. Our guest today is Shikira Tunstill. Shikira is a junior at Western Kentucky University and a Bowling Green native. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Are you happy to be here?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
All right.
I'm really excited.
I'm pumped for it. All right, guys. So let's have words with Shikira Tunstill. Alrighty. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right. So I think the best way to start this off is to tell the story of how we met. What do you think?
Oh, let's go ahead. You want to start it or you want me to start
I think
it?
you should start this one.
Okay. Well,
I just want to know your side of the story.
okay. Well, I was on the phone with somebody and I'm bad at texting and driving. And I just happened to be on the phone and texting, like trying to multitask, and I was hungry. I had somewhere to be in like 10 minutes and I was like doing this. So then I'm pulling up. I'm like, well, I'm just get Sonic real quick. And they're on the phone like, yeah, hurry up and get Sonic. So then I'm pulling in Sonic, and then next thing you know, I'm like trying to text, but they're on the phone on speaker. And then as I'm pulling in, there's a curve on the side of Sonic, and then all I hear is, boom. I said, oh, shoot. They're like, what did you do?
You can say what you really say.
Okay. Shit. And they're like, what happened? What'd you do? You always doing something. I said, oh man, I think I just dropped in this curve at Sonic, and I'm so embarrassed because cars were just like, just looking like, I'm like, you gonna hunk but not gonna help? Like,
Don't
come on
you hate
now.
when people do that?
Yes, like
I'm in trouble.
And what made it more embarrassing is people that knew me. Some of them was like, Shikira, I'm just like,
hey, what are you doing?
So you know me, but you're not gonna help. Okay, cool. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? They're like, well, I don't get off work till an hour, and then somebody else calls me.
The people you're on the phone with?
Yeah, they're at work, and we're having like a business call, and they're like, well, I'm at work and I can't work, so call somebody. And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm calling my stepdad. He's like, well, it'd be like 20 minutes, and I'm like, what the? So
Thanks
I'm just
for nothing.
sitting there, yeah, and I'm sweating. And
it was hot that day.
It was hot that day. I had to take my shirt off. I was like, it's too hot.
I mean, you still had a shirt on.
Yeah, I had a sports bra, but yeah, I said, I don't care at this point. I got people eating tater tots looking at me, and they're just like, it's a show for them, and I'm just so embarrassed. Then
that's the worst. You're sitting there stuck.
I'm sitting there stuck with like my car looked handicapped.
And people are just
eating tater tots like
this is a good show.
Yeah, they really was like, when is she gonna get out?
He's got his drink. He's like,
and I was just so frustrated. I was just about to go get something to eat and wait till the tow truck comes. I was like, well, I got the money, but I was trying to avoid paying the money.
Yeah, because for them to pull you off a curb is even going to be like.
He told me 180 on the phone.
180.
180. I was like, I said, I'm gonna just wait for my stepdad. So I'm just go get something to eat, let my car sit for 20 minutes. But just by the grace of God, you came. I think y'all pulled like right behind me. You was just looking, and then y'all rolled y'all's windows down. You was like, well, are you stuck? I said, yeah. So can you help me?
From the way we came through the drive-thru, and the way that it looked is like you were like stalled out or something like that.
Yeah.
And then when we pulled forward, y'all, this girl, here's the curb, and Shakira's on it. And there's no getting her off of that thing. So my buddy Chelsea Bush, y'all know Chelsea. She does the Wake Up Bowling Green show with me every week. And Chelsea and we had a meeting to get to. And you know what we said? We said, man, forget that meeting. We're going to help this little girl out. So we get out.
Yes.
And when you said it's hot outside, I had the nice air conditioning going. It felt great. I got outside and I was like, ew. This is horrible. So we're working on the car.
Yes.
Then some little dude from the middle of nowhere
Some
shows
guy,
up.
like a homeless guy, just walks up. I don't know if you remember that.
And he had like super strength too.
He had the most common sense out of everybody.
First off,
Well,
I stopped.
You let's say second. He just come up like,
He
well,
probably had the most.
no, he was
He was
smart because
smart.
she was sitting on the frame and we were like, can you drive forward a little bit and get? And he was like, no, don't do that, man, don't do that. You're gonna tear that frame up because you can't really see up under it once it's perched up.
he was calm. He was acting like he does this all the time. He was like, yeah, do you got a jack? I said, yeah, in the back. He goes, can you get it? I'm like, yeah.
He's
I'm
like-
like, I'll grab it. So I grab it from
He
him. He's
said
like,
it just like that too.
he's like,
He's like the Batman of cars stuck on curbs. Wherever he's needed, he is there.
He's a vigilante.
yeah, like he came at it. Like I don't even think I seen him approach.
He's a
like,
car
he just
vigilante. He
at
came off the train tracks. He's just like dun, dun, dun.
It did seem like it. Like I promise. Like where did he come from?
Yeah, I mean he's probably an angel. I don't even know if he's still around.
I don't know either.
But thank God for him.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He helped us out, and then one of your buddies showed up.
Yes.
Or your cousin.
My cousin came. My cousin said, "What do you got going on?" I'm like, "I just got stuck."
Oh
And
my God!
It was just I
he
couldn't
sees
hear
you
him.
surrounded by a bunch of people, and he's like,
He did.
"Uh oh."
Yeah, he said, "So what's this? What they around your car for?" I said, "No, I said I'm stuck. They're trying to help me." He goes, "Oh, okay."
And then my buddy shows up,
Yes.
and he's just like, he knows you.
Yeah.
Y'all, I gotta be honest with you. I don't even know this cat's name. Like he just went by
I don't know
E.
him either.
When we were playing ball, he just went by E, and he said, "Yo, what's up, Stone?" And I looked over, and I was like, "Oh, so this is a family get together."
It seemed like a
It's
little.
like 12 of us, and I'm not kidding you. That dude is still sitting at the table just. I wonder if they're gonna get this car up off of there.
And y'all really did like in 3 minutes due to the homeless guy that came up.
Yeah, when he said, "Can you get the jack?" We're just like, "Oh, that's what those are for."
He said, "Just lift it up and push it up." I said, "Okay."
I love that voice.
yeah.
If you'll just jack
He
it
was
up.
just so dull. Like
Move forward.
I'm just like, okay, well.
But then, yeah, we just as soon as we got it lifted, we all
Pushed
just
me off,
super
yeah.
strengthed it off. I think
Really
you sat in
did.
the driver's seat and turned it a little bit, but
Yes.
yeah. So that's the story of how we met.
Yes, it is. It's weird, but grateful. You know.
No, I think those kinds of stories are cool because we've had a relationship since then.
Yes.
We talk on Facebook a lot.
Yes.
And I get to see all the kind of cool stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I want to get into today. That's why I wanted to have you on this podcast because you are just literally. I do that every episode. Literally, like Kim Kardashian or Kourtney Kardashian. Literally, Shakira, you're so good at everything you do. That's what I feel like. But you're so good and so gifted in everything that you touch. So I wanted to have you on here, give you a little bit of a voice and let people hear what it is that you have going on and your plans moving forward because it's hard to just call somebody an advocate. The next question is advocate for what? But you are an advocate in that like everything you've got a voice on, you've got an opinion on, and it's usually a strong, well thought out opinion. You're not one of those people that just listens to something one time and then you just shout it out from the rooftops.
Right,
You're
right.
very calculated in what you think and believe.
Yes, that's true.
So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to get into first? Because I know that you have so many things, you know.
I can start off with I do have a documentary that I recently spoke with the news stations with that I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to get it done literally by the end of May.
Literally by the end of May.
Let's do it in Kim Kardashian's voice.
Oh my gosh.
Literally. I'm hoping to get it done by then.
Okay.
Literally when I leave here, literally, I'm going to be recording a few homeless people and then try to edit it out.
So what does the documentary entail? How did you get into this? And are you doing it?
Yeah, I'm literally doing it all by myself.
The episode is going to be literally, just so you know.
Literally, yes.
So tell me, for real. All right, how'd you get into it? You just you had an idea.
Far as making the documentaries,
Yes.
I love documentaries. I'm a big fan of it,
Okay.
especially when it comes to like the mysteries and
Ancient aliens.
yes, all of that stuff.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah,
I hate
aliens
ancient
and just
aliens.
weird stuff. I just love documentaries.
I love that kind of stuff, but Ancient Aliens annoys me. in a
Yes,
way.
the killings to the
Anybody see
haunted
that
stories.
that Cecil Hotel one on
no,
Netflix?
but
I
I've
haven't.
heard about it.
About
I've
the
heard
girl.
about it.
It's like an Asian lady just disappears after being seen acting crazy on elevator footage.
Really?
Is this
yeah,
real?
Yeah. And then they find her body like 2 months later in a water tank on the roof.
See, stuff like that. I
Yeah.
can watch. I can sit at home and watch Netflix stuff like that all night.
It's like 4 episodes. I watched all 4 back to back to back.
To back.
To
I'm
back.
gonna look into that.
To back.
Most definitely.
Real Cecil Hotel.
Yeah, something like the
Cecil.
the disappearance at the Cecil Hotel
Can you
or
pull it
something
up?
like that.
Find it real quick and pull it up here so I can see it.
How would you like me to do that?
Oh, I thought you had your computer linked in.
Let me see if I can do it. I'll bring it up here in a second.
Okay, yeah, just look it up. So
That's really dope. I have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff's cool. Do you like the Ted Bundy tapes or whatever?
Some of them, yes.
Did you watch the one with Zac Efron?
No,
Dude,
I'm gonna have to now.
first off, we just have to talk. Zac Efron is awesome.
I've heard.
Everybody remembers him as like the High School Musical kid.
Yeah.
Him as Ted Bundy. Oh my
I
God.
have to look into that.
It makes you really think, because back when all that happened, women loved Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
He defended himself, and women thought he was so cute and so funny.
I'm
And
gonna have to look into that. Is that on Netflix?
it's fantastic. It may still be. I think it was at one
Okay.
point. If not, I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's good. So you got into documentaries. You love the documentary style
Yes.
of recording.
I do.
And so, what is this documentary?
The one that I'm doing now is basically interviewing people that are homeless or was homeless and incarcerated.
Really?
Yes, and just the things that they have to encounter on a day-to-day during the pandemic, pretty much.
Have you been putting little clips and stuff up on Facebook?
Yeah, to get
That's
people
what I've
that
seen.
amped to, like, I gotta see it, because I
Yes.
have interviewed a few people already, and literally we both cried with each other. Just the stories that I've been told
gotta be
of
hard.
what people have to go through. Yeah, most definitely. And the society is mainly small-minded to me nowadays. So just to see the comments on the news stations where some people, they're all for it, and some people's like, no, homeless people don't have a voice. There's no point in even giving them a documentary or anything. So this is really what it's for. Is for to let people see behind the scenes of just life for certain people,
That's so cool. Did you
especially during
find
the
it?
pandemic.
Did you find it? I think he pulled it up.
Yeah, I found it. Sorry.
I just want to see what this thing looks like. And this is on Netflix, you said?
I
Yeah.
have to check that out.
Dude.
So Crime Scene's like a series. Like they do little
It's similar to
anthologies on.
what's the one
crime.
I was on?
They did one about the Night Stalker too.
I don't even
Yeah,
know what
I've
that
seen that
is.
one.
I have no idea what that is.
Seen that one? Yeah,
That
one's
one was
really good too.
wild.
Is
That
it
guy
like
was
a-
that guy was nuts.
So
Yes.
it's Crime Scene, the series, and then
Yeah.
there's stories. So it's
Yeah.
like the first 48. Out of the first 48, the TV show,
Yeah.
it was just titled The First 48, but then there were like little crimes that they would,
Yeah.
get into detail about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's neat. So The Vanishing at Cecil Hotel. All right, we got to remember that. We got to
yeah.
watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Let me know
Most
when you do.
definitely.
I'll probably
yeah.
watch it tonight.
Me too.
It
That's
sounds
what I was
good.
about to say. Yeah, I'm done with this semester. I got time.
That's right, girl. So you are interviewing homeless people
Mm-hmm.
about really the struggles, not just their life in general. You're
Right.
talking specifically right now during the pandemic.
During the pandemic, you have a lot of inmates right now in certain jails that's not even getting proper care. Not just the basic proper care. And then not only they're not allowed to make phone calls to their family and friends and get letters and stuff like that during the pandemic. And
Why
it's
not
a lot
phone calls?
going
Because
on.
they're sharing a phone.
So you gotta watch the documentary.
Okay.
It's a lot of stuff that's going on. Under the
She's
table
a
that-
salesman. That was good.
Yeah.
Now I
You
want to
gotta
see
watch
it.
You
Now
gotta
I want
watch
to see
it.
it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I'm
stuff
gonna
that's
look for
going
it.
on that's going over a lot of people's heads, and
Yeah.
it's good to let people see that.
I agree. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you're giving people a voice because, like you said, there's a lot of people that believe, they don't have a voice.
Right.
And everybody's got a voice.
Yeah.
And everybody's voice is important.
True.
And I truly believe that. I believe everybody has a story to tell.
Exactly.
And it's not everybody's story is interesting. And that's just the
not.
facts of life,
Right.
Like,
It is.
not everybody's story is interesting, but everybody has a story.
Exactly.
And if they want to tell it, well, damn it, we need to let them tell it.
Exactly.
And and there's some people that want to hear it and need to hear it.
Right.
That's
exactly.
awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. Are
Thank
you having
you.
fun doing it?
Oh, I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah.
It like when I do my documentaries about certain things with different people from different cultures and stuff, it gives me a different perspective of life. Like I'm able to look at life in different perspectives instead of just having my own opinion about life and rolling with it and thinking
Yep.
that your opinion's wrong. I'm able to understand you if you was to disagree with me about something because
Yeah.
I've met so many people,
Do you think people have blinders on because they are either ignorant or maybe they don't take the time to learn? Or do you think people have their blinders on because of how they were raised, like a nature versus nurture thing? What do you think people's biggest issue is with hearing the other side, hearing somebody else's version of something?
It could be both to me, but I think it starts at home. It really starts at how you was raised.
Amen. I agree 100%.
Racism and religion, and we can go on, but it's really just how you was raised and how you was brought up, because we put our parents or whoever raised you, your guardians, on a pedestal. So whatever, most people.
Yes,
and
you're
so
right.
you naturally just flow and live that life of what was fed to you as a kid.
We're also in a time now where it's hard to believe this, but not very long ago, you and I couldn't drink out of the same water fountain.
Correct.
And people think that was forever ago.
Right.
It was not.
No.
It was not that long ago. In the grand scheme of things, in the history of the world, that's maybe 2 paragraphs in that book.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's wild. And so those people that lived through that are now raising kids and young adults.
Right.
And now people like me, I've got a kid. And, and you're coming up in that world. You'll be there sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So it's all about how we raise our kids and how we teach people and stuff like that. So
teach them, yeah.
I'm glad that you said that it definitely starts at home.
It definitely starts at home.
And do you see in this kind of world that more people are in a positive light? Do you think they believe things in a positive light, or do you think there's still a whole lot of, subdued negativity?
I mean, if you just sit back and look at what's been going on the past 2 years, I mean, all you can do is just pray for us to have a better future. Especially, I feel sorry for the next generation. I mean, just them having to encounter just the pandemic itself at a young age. I'm pretty sure it's heavy. But
my daughter is 1 year 5 months. She had not met my extended family, all of them, until 2 weekends ago.
Really?
She met a lot of them, but like my cousins, we had Harrison was the first guest. He had never met her, and he lives here in town.
Why is that? Because of COVID?
Yeah, and just timing, because of the COVID thing, because of school and all that. But I think COVID really threw a wrench in the system.
Yeah.
And made everybody just on edge.
Yeah.
And man, when we finally had that get together and she just had a blast. I'm not doing that to her anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to see our friends and family.
Have to.
We have to. We're just going to make it happen.
Yeah. Like I tell everybody, especially through my mental health talks, I mean, you make life what it is of what you want to make it, And I do get we want to be safe, but still make time, even if it's FaceTime calls, make time for especially your close family and friends. Life is short.
Yep.
So most definitely.
So you're also big in the mental health world.
Yes.
So kind of walk me through that. What is it about mental health that you are so passionate about? How did you get to be passionate about that? And how at your age are you coaching people to be aware and be perceptive of what it is that's going on in their mind? You're young for that kind. And I think I even commented on the post that you made. I said, you are too young to be this perceptive.
Yeah.
And you really are. But what got you there?
Well, before I'm doing what I'm doing now, the person that I am today, that was not always me. So maybe
recently, or are you talking like a decade
high school,
ago?
middle school? I was more, I've always been a good kid, but I was definitely the opposite of who I am today. Definitely the opposite. So just all the life experiences that I've encountered, not only taught me about life, but me having family and friends that suffer from mental health. Also, me watching that growing up, I've learned from that too as well.
Yeah. And so now you are not actually counseling people. I wouldn't say you counsel people, but I think you maybe you kind of do. Maybe that is the word for it. You sit down with people and you literally just have open discussions. You know the Steven Crowder guy that does that Change My Mind on YouTube?
Yes.
You kind of did that at Western, but just like an open forum discussion for mental health.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was awesome. I actually did maybe, I want to say if it was not last semester, but the semester before, I did a mental health group chat where we literally get on Facebook and you would add people in and they would just talk about their problems and we would just give advice. Everybody
was it
would
on
give each other advice.
Facebook Live?
It was on Facebook. You know how you can make a group chat in the Messenger?
Yeah.
You can have like create a room or something like that.
So you could film you all.
Yes.
And then so-and-so, I could come on and say, hey, I've been struggling with X.
Right.
And then the group
would
tag
anybody
team
that could relate or that's been through that situation, they would give you advice. So we was all nurturing each other in the
How'd you
group
come
chat.
up with that plan?
I just randomly came up with that.
Really?
Yeah, randomly came up with it and it worked.
Did you, I mean, I don't even know if this is a decent question to ask you. Did you charge people for this?
No, it was free.
You do it out of the goodness of your heart.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of people get paid money to give bogus
stuff
advice.
Like that,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Stuff like that, it's stuff I just naturally love to do.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What makes you love to do that?
I don't know. I got a big heart. It's just me, you know. I just like to give. I like to help people because I receive so many blessings back, you know. So
That's amazing.
Just me.
Do you think that people in, I'll say like our generation and the generation that's coming up, it's kind of hard to assume the generation that came before us.
Yeah.
Do you think our generation, the generation that's coming up, suffers from mental health issues?
Yes, I do.
What do you think it's from?
Like I said, well, yeah, definitely. I
think
talk
that
about
has a
that
lot to do with it?
Oh yeah.
These things.
We throw them technology for them to be quiet and quit crying, and in reality, they don't know how to count 1 through 10, but they know the next TikTok dance. That's a problem to me.
You're amazing.
So-
You're too young for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, social media is great, you know, for connections and everything.
What we're doing here.
Exactly what we're doing. Money, you know, now you can just make money in your sleep, which is awesome. But when it comes to the children, just throwing social media at them, it's like they can't even grasp life.
Do you remember growing up, and Booba, I'm sure that you definitely remember this. You remember when you were growing up, your parents would say, go outside and play pretend. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I used to get sticks. Me, my brother Daniel, and my cousin Alex, we would get sticks, and those were our lightsabers, and we play Star Wars.
That's amazing.
And we would just beat each other up with these sticks. Man, you come back and your hands are bloodied up, and your mom's like, honey, what happened? And I'm like, Darth Maul, he cut my hand off. Who? And I'm like, we're playing Star Wars. But for real, like, I don't think kids can do that these days.
And see, that's the beauty of that, because y'all had imagination. See, now
Yes.
I meet little kids, they have no imagination, they have no personality if they don't have a tablet.
That's a shame.
And that's just, you know.
And
Yeah.
do you believe that mental health issues are going to come from that?
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
truly do.
Of course, it's going to draw insecurity. It's going to
Yep.
draw lack of communication when you have to be social in society. It's like they withdraw themselves from even want to talk to the next person face to face, but they rather text you. It goes to adulthood too. You know, I'm pretty sure you've met people where they rather text you and express themselves
Yep.
through text than just tell it to you when they was just with you 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
No, you know, it's just no.
And
I feel
do
like
you think
the pandemic kind of exposed a bunch of people that don't like being around people. They're like, oh, I get to stay home.
Yeah.
Like, we all have those friends that like they're gonna cancel our on me. Like,
for
know
sure.
it. You know
Yeah.
it. Like, the pandemic gave them the best out ever.
Yeah, they was living their best life with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think there's some good and some bad to it. I think one thing that the pandemic taught us is that we are more than capable of being alone. And sometimes being alone is really good.
Yes.
Sometimes being alone and being with your thoughts and being with yourself and being present is good.
Yes.
But to not even strive for community is worse.
True.
We're humans, and humans need interaction, and humans
Right.
need to be together. They need family. They need friends.
Right.
We're animals.
Yeah,
You don't see a lot of animals that just wander by themselves.
that's true.
And if they do, they're a snake, and nobody likes snakes.
That's very true. I definitely agree. I
So-
think another thing the pandemic should taught people is that the strategies of having multiple incomes.
Oh, girl, you ain't kidding there.
You know how many people was panicking over not being able to pay the next month's rent or, you know, et cetera. But because people will laugh if you told them, well, I got this job and then I'm doing hair on the side and then I'm doing, people will be like, why are you doing so many things? I mean, in reality,
Yes.
multiple streams of income, the pandemic should have displayed the importance of that.
Why do people think the side hustle
the side hustle. Yeah.
is
It's like
a
joke.
negative thing?
Yeah, it's like,
Do you know how many millionaires you think that that Bezos only uses Amazon for his income? Or do you think he's invested in real estate? He's probably got some stocks. He's got mutual funds. He's got multiple streams of income. Do you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think at our age? Were you ever taught that in school?
No, I wasn't taught any financial lessons.
No.
They
What
didn't
about
teach
you?
that in school. Yeah, no, I wasn't. They don't even tell the truth of history, so no.
There's actually a guy that named Chris Gillibo, and he does side hustle school.
That's neat.
That's
where he
dope.
teaches people how to start up a side hustle. And he has a podcast. They're like 3 minutes, but he just tells the success stories of all the people. Like a lady started walking dogs in like Minneapolis and now makes over $100,000 a year starting a walking dog
For
business.
some puppies.
You
People
know?
will pay you to do stuff like that.
Oh, nobody's walking my dog.
Well, I think that
I
was
love walking my dog.
that's what was encouraging. Is
Yeah.
just seeing how many passions can actually lead to a lifestyle and a job.
Oh, yeah.
Or
There's a lot
career.
of people that don't like grocery shopping.
Yes.
And now you got Shipt, you've got Instacart or whatever.
Yes.
And it's like, imagine if you told a 70-year-old, oh yeah, I shop for other people's groceries. They will look at you like you got 3 heads.
Oh, yeah.
They don't go to the grocery themselves. They don't like to.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can make money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got enough money to pay me to do it.
Yes.
Cha-ching. Who
Why not?
cares?
Yeah, right,
Why
exactly.
is that such an issue?
I don't know. Just like I
nuts to
said, the
me.
small mind mentality that people have is just some people's just stuck in a certain time too. It's usually the older folks that's just stuck in their ways.
I'm afraid that that's what we're going to see with the young generation right now.
Yeah.
Like you said, with the tablets and stuff like that. You want to
Yeah.
talk about being stuck in their ways. You got kids, when I was waiting tables, couldn't even look up from their phone to say chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's bad.
And
That's
when I
really
was a
bad.
kid, it was like, hey,
right?
what are you getting? My dad would, like, if we had a Game Boy or something like that, he'd knock it out of your hand. And he'd
Smart
be like,
man.
what are you getting? What are you getting?
Yeah.
And my brother would always finesse him real bad, man. We'd go somewhere and he'd say, all right, everybody, my dad, this is how I talk. Everybody's getting waters tonight. We're not spending stupid money. And my brother would be like, okay, Dad. And then we'd get there, and I'm telling you, because my dad could not be a jerk, he'd be like, what are you getting? And my brother would be like, chicken fingers and fries and a Dr. Pepper. And, charge an extra $2.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, not once did my dad stop him. Not once, because he got played. It was
Right.
awesome. My brother was a genius with that. Okay, Dad. Dr. Pepper, no ice. Swear, genius.
And see, I said whenever I have a family that I'm old school. We're gonna all eat at the table together.
I do it every night.
No phones, no electronics, and we're going to discuss what's going on with each other.
That is so
Love that.
good.
Because
Swanson's
most
a-
family,
Love that.
most families don't do that, and then they wonder why their child is 12 years old having sex, and then they want to punish the kid, and it's like you're throwing punishment at the kid, yet it's going to make them even worse because
And
you're not talking to
You're
them. Talk to them.
punishing them for something they don't get.
Yeah, it's no social energy in the house, so therefore they're looking for whatever they're looking for outside the house.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
not just
punish them,
sex.
yeah.
It's drugs, it's
Drugs
alcohol.
and hanging with the wrong friends and
Getting involved in the wrong stuff.
You better preach.
Yeah, like you have to sit and talk to your kid. Like sit down and be like, well, how was your day? You know,
Yes.
and learn your child. So therefore, your child will be comfortable to talk to you.
That's
Because
so
if you
good.
don't, if you're all on the phone, they're going to hurry up and they probably won't even eat the meal and they're running off with Nick
Yeah.
doing drugs.
Yeah.
You know. And then
I
you're
don't
mad
know.
at the kid.
We're
you
not
know?
talking about any specific nicks here.
Is there a Nick here?
That brings me back to another documentary. Have you seen Social Dilemma?
I haven't seen
I've heard
Social
of it,
Dilemma.
though.
I watched
I've heard of it.
Social Network, which is not a documentary.
The Social Dilemma, like they interview former CEOs and CTOs of big tech, like Pinterest and other things.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
They
Is it
won't. Let's
creepy?
just say the guy that created Pinterest will not allow his kids to have cell phones
That's terrifying.
because he talks about they made the algorithms to be addictive as like heroin.
I believe that. That's true. It is true. It's true to that.
It's a drug. Is it any different?
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, with heroin, you're injecting it into your bloodstream, but with this, you're putting it in your brain and you're obsessing over it.
Exactly.
What's the difference? I mean, it can be just as unhealthy.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, you're not poisoning your blood, but you're poisoning your mind.
Well, you can get input overload too. Like
for sure.
your brain only has so much bandwidth that it can take in.
Yeah.
And when you fill it with hours of watching GIFs and funny videos and gossip and all that, like, you can't take anything substantial. Like, it won't hold.
There's a place and time for it. I think social media is a wonderful thing, like for the side hustles and stuff like that. I can't imagine doing real estate without social media.
Right.
And people did do it, and the people that still are doing it without social media are struggling.
That's true.
You know, and that's just a fact. And what you're doing with the documentary series and actually getting real stories and real, you know, real information out there, it is important.
Yeah, it is.
But to a limit.
Yeah.
For sure.
I make sure at my time I take a certain time off of social media.
Are you a big advocate for medicating for mental health?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of, do you think there's limits to it? Or do you think there's ages that, let's hold off or something like that?
Be specific. What type of medicating you're talking about?
So, okay, that's a good point. I was listening to Theo Vaughn, and he takes medicine for depression.
Okay, so you're talking about that terms of medication.
Well, yeah, well, you can take it however you want, but I guess this is the point I'm getting. He said 20 years ago, and let's say you break your leg. This is his example, not mine. Let's say you break your leg. You're going to go to the doctor. You're going to get a cast, and they're going to heal you up, and in, 2 months, you're going to be good. You're going to be walking on that leg. You may favor it every now and then, and it may be more tender every now and then, but you're good. How come it is with mental health? 20 years ago, he went in for something, and he's still taking a pill every single day just to feel okay. That's hard. That's hard. That's got to be hard in wearing and trying on an individual.
So he's taking medication to feel okay just with himself or the leg?
No, himself. He's doing that for depression.
Okay.
I'm saying when you medicate something, normally you don't think forever.
Right.
Why do we do that for mental health?
Now, as far as that way, I don't believe in that because really that's just money for the doctors and money for...
Okay, that's kind of what I want to get to.
That's just, you know, of course, and sometimes it don't even really be nothing wrong with you. You just might be going through a crisis. But, of course, they want their money. So
we're
they're going
human.
to...
Once again, we're human. We have emotions. We're real thinking individuals.
Exactly.
And if there's one thing that I hope anybody takes from this is it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to have feelings.
Yeah.
Don't let that be your whole life.
Exactly.
But it's okay.
And I think that
it's not forever.
I believe that stems away from people not having that support system and people that can genuinely talk to them and put them in a great space.
Is that how you would medicate?
For me personally, how I would medicate, I read scriptures. Scriptures is good for me. I know not to put this on religion or anything.
No.
I'm a spiritual person. I'm not no religion. I know some people's like, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. But I know like from scriptures to whatever your religion is or support, family, friends, that can fix you quicker than the medication. Because I truly believe some of the medication that they give you breaks you down, if anything.
Yes.
I don't think it's making you more delusional.
Yeah, I think your eyes go black and you aren't even a human anymore sometimes.
Yeah.
You're like a little robot. You're just going through the day how they tell you need to go through the day. And you've seen those people. You try and talk to them.
It's no self-love, you know.
They're drugged out of their mind.
That is.
A lot of times.
Like you have more faith in a pill than you do yourself. So we already have a problem.
That's wild.
You know?
That's wild. We got to do another ad read real quick, and we'll get back into this. So just want to let you guys know this podcast is also brought to you by Supcase. So do you have anxiety every time you drop your phone?
No.
You don't?
No.
I do, because I'm afraid I'm going to crack my screen. And I've dropped
a case for it.
Well, okay, that's what we're getting at,
Okay.
Shikira. But I've dropped my phone more times than LeBron James has dropped teammates and coaches, and I mean that. And every single time I hold my breath and I check my screen, I'm like, oh, am I going to scratch my face? No more. Supcase is offering my listeners 15% off of their purchase. Head on over to Supcase and use my code LHW for Let's Have Words. That's right. So LHW for Let's Have Words. Supcase for 15% off your purchase. So, are you going to get one?
Yes.
Yes, me too.
I will. Supporting.
That's right.
I want to throw a point in there. Talking about the brain, I read this book by Dr. Amen. And
Dr. Amen?
Like it's spelled like amen, like you would say in a church.
Okay.
Amen. And he does clinical scans of the brain. He does this deep tissue scans of the brain. And there's a lot of he does a lot of connection with like CTE and football. And since I played football, I was worried about CTE and stuff. But he talks about the medication crisis and how what it is the brain is so like complex.
Yeah.
Like, because there's like so many, like ADD, for instance, there's like so many different forms of ADD, but they give it a blanket subject and they give it a blanket medication. And he's just talking about it's more just ignorance. Like people come in with a symptom, and instead of taking the time to drill in and stuff, they just blanket prescribe. And like a lot of people don't go see specialists. They don't go see.
They don't have the money for it either.
We could get into the brokenness of the, medical system, but what he's saying is like doctors, since they don't know, they're just like, well, here's, they have a general knowledge, but like a specialist who has studied the brain for 30 years is saying we need to dig deeper and not just prescribe the first thing to the first person.
Do you believe in this for both of you guys? Do you believe that ADD, ADHD, and things like that are just over prescribed? Or I guess you don't really prescribe it. Diagnosed? Do you think they're overdiagnosed?
I think after reading his book, he would say it's a mix. I think a lot of kids, there's different types of ADD, like he was talking about. There's some where you're super obsessive about one thing, and there's others where you can't focus on anything, but they're from the same part of the brain, and they're actually the same condition. They just have different types.
I guess it's like when we had Robert on here, and he was talking about how he used it to his advantage. And there's a lot of people that maybe they don't know how to dig deeper for themselves, and maybe it comes back to that nature versus nurture. You don't have anybody in your corner teaching you how to feel, maybe not how to feel, but how to access those feelings and how to harness those feelings and use them for. Robert said, use your disabilities for learning abilities, and so he harnessed that kind of stuff and made it work for him. And he's just one example, but I think a lot of people probably would have that ability if more dialogue in the household, more understanding of what it is that you're going through. Open, real conversations.
You know how many like billionaire CEOs have dyslexia?
A lot.
Zuckerberg?
A lot.
Doesn't Zuckerberg have some stuff going on?
I don't know, but I read, I think it was Forbes released like a high percentage of CEOs and inventors have dyslexia, and what it caused them to do was get creative in how they learned and create, and they had to work twice as hard,
That's
and
amazing.
So you're talking about using a disadvantage for an advantage. Like sometimes you just get dealt a crappy hand and you just got to work through it.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we don't talk about enough is in a game of poker, you can have a crappy hand, but you're getting dealt another hand in 2 minutes. So why in the world do we let these crappy hands dictate our entire lives?
I think it also falls back with, like we said, social media too.
Yes.
Because you have people who will literally live their life off of what the news presents to them. Like they won't believe nothing that they've experienced personally, but they will believe it if it's on the news.
And you're one of those people that you do reporting and you're big in media.
Yeah.
Where do you see the news going 10 years from now?
It's controlling the mind, really. It's the next thing to medication.
So what would you do? What would you do differently? If somebody handed you the reins of a company and says, Shikira, we're going to tell the news, but we want you to be the brains behind the operation. What are you going to do?
See, it's always been a sticky situation for me because I don't want to work for someone who wants me to lie to the world, first of all.
No. I'm not saying lie. And it's your company. They're giving you the power to do and say whatever it is that you want.
Okay.
How are you going to deliver the news and be truthful and be real? Like, what would you do to change the media crisis that we're in right now?
For starters, mental health.
Okay.
Mental health would definitely be everything around of what I talk about majority. Because if people can just get a grasp of the basics of mental health, they would be better off just living in society. So mental health would be most definitely the first thing.
And if somebody had a news story, a breaking news story for you, and it was a scary story, a global pandemic maybe, how would you break that to the world?
I would tell them what it is they need to know, and then I would break down to them what it is that they need to do. But I will also let them know it's their option to do whatever they want to do. I'm not going to make them feel that they're forced to do what I feel would be the best of the direction they should take.
And I'm not trying to get into a COVID conversation, but do you think that we've gotten to a point now where, kind of like you said, we take the media as gospel?
Yeah.
Maybe not all of us.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that take the media as the gospel truth.
Yes, they do.
Why? Why do people do that?
Because like I said, it falls back to the childhood of the technology. Like our next generation, I'm pretty sure they'll believe anything they see on paper and on TV. And half of it could be a lie. But they're going to believe it because they was based and raised off of social media.
Okay.
So they don't even know the standard, and they don't even have the ability to live life just for life without the social media.
Do you think we'd be better off without the news?
Yes and no.
I think there's stuff that's worth telling, and I think there's stuff that needs to be told, but I don't know that the way that it's told is conducive to a healthy mind.
Right. I mean, there's some stuff that's told to control, it's a narrative of how they're trying to get the people to move around and operate.
What's an example of that?
Let's see. Just dividing us during COVID, us. I mean, 1 minute we're open, 2 weeks we're shut down, 3 weeks. I mean, it looks like y'all don't even know what you're doing. Y'all don't even know what route to go about it. So how you want me to really believe in what I'm supposed to do that's right when y'all don't even know, rather we should be open on a Monday and then we're shut down on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know? Then you got vaccines. The vaccines to me is,
say what you want.
To each its own.
Okay.
But you're telling me I'm still going to get it if I take this vaccine. So just the whole COVID.
Not that you will, but you could possibly get, and you could still possibly transmit it.
Right. Because at first it was, well, if you get it, you're not going to get, if you get this vaccine, you're not going to get it. You're not going to pass it on. Then it went from, well, you got to get a second one, and then you got to get a third boost a year later. So it's like, what are we doing?
And is it any different than not getting it if I can still pass it on and I can still get it? I think the big argument now is that they said that you will battle it a lot easier.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
And thank God for that. One death is too many.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's nice to know people's washing their hands now. I didn't know too many people wasn't using hand sanitizer. I was using hand sanitizer since second grade, so for people to just now realize hand sanitizer was a thing. Was amazing to me to see that.
Yeah, I like the cleanliness that everybody's going through.
Everybody's starting to be clean now.
Restaurants are looking nice if you're going to restaurants. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Some people still don't, and you know what? I guess that's one of those positive things I said about COVID actually doing was teaching people, hey, you don't have to go out to eat every single night.
Yeah.
You know what one of my favorite things was?
What?
Standing in line, that 6 foot gap. I could not stand pre-COVID when you're standing in line at the gas station and a person is standing like 2.5 inches behind you.
Oh yeah.
Like just staring into the back of your neck.
Or going into Walmart and then you right beside them when you're shopping anyways. That just didn't make sense to me.
Like,
I still think it's funny though when you go to a restaurant, you got to have your mask up. And then when you sit down, it's like, oh, well, COVID can't get me here.
That's what I've always thought too. Or the airplane. You're 6 feet until you get seated next to someone who's.
Wait, are they allowed to sit by each other now?
Yeah.
Also, that air is recirculated, so.
Hey.
I don't fly. That's one thing about me. I don't fly.
You don't fly?
You don't fly?
Bruh. Hey, let me ask you this. Can you fly without a plane?
No, but more people die from shark attacks than plane crashes, right?
You can die more off a car crash than you can.
I get that, but I trust myself driving more. I trust myself falling out of the sky.
Put me on a plane. I'll get on there real quick.
Oh man, I don't like it. I've flown before, so I'm not speaking from like a point of, oh, I'm scared of it. I'm never gonna. You know, like when somebody's like, oh, I've never had blue cheese. That is disgusting. It's like, well, if you've had blue cheese and you don't like it, that's one thing.
Yeah.
I've flown.
Blue cheese is disgusting.
It
Can
is.
confirm.
It is.
It's an acquired taste. I finally started diving into it a
Just
little
like
bit.
oat milk.
Why would you acquire it though?
Well, I don't know.
Like, do you just sit there and eat blue cheese until you like it?
No.
You're gonna eat this blue cheese until you find it good.
I tried different things with blue cheese, and then finally I was like, that's not that bad.
Thank you. She agrees.
Yeah.
She agrees with me.
Anyways, my original point was, I'm not saying I don't fly because I'm scared and I've never done it.
Yeah.
I'm saying I've flown and it terrified me and I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it. Ugh.
Are you claustrophobic?
I'm anti falling out of the sky.
I have a friend and she's claustrophobic, and that's what gets her. Cause just that tiny.
No, because I can
tiny
ride in a
space.
car.
Yeah.
But a car, you have a door to get out. Plane door locks. You in there.
Yeah.
You're making me a little claustrophobic now. Maybe that is what it is. I don't know. I also don't like the sense of out of control.
Yeah.
You don't know if that pilot's having a bad day. You don't know if somebody paid him $100,000 to take you ass to Mexico. I just don't like that.
I like Mexico though.
I do like Mexico.
I have to go there. I haven't been there.
Give me a little margarita on the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kobe. For those of you that don't know, that bang in the background was Booba shooting a Diet Dr. Pepper bottle. And man, he nailed that. Looks like Kobe Bryant over there. Hold it up for him, baby.
Thank you.
Anytime. Are you a big sports person?
I don't know. I'm not.
So no. Okay.
But I will watch basketball.
Yeah.
Give me some wings and a beer, and I will watch the crap out of basketball.
Where do you like to go get wings and a beer?
I've been on Overtime here lately in Bowling Green.
Overtime's good.
Their wings
Underrated.
is good, and Mr. B's is like, I love their wings too.
Swanson over there.
Yeah,
is
here comes Swanson.
He's got his headphones on. He ain't listening.
He likes Mr. B's too.
He's from Henderson, where the first Mr. B's was, and he's a big Mr. B's advocate,
I love
man. He loves
Mr.
them.
B's
I would-
wings.
Love Mr. B's double dogs on top.
No one can hear you.
You don't have to
Swanson.
yell.
No one can hear.
See, I
us.
haven't tried Double Dogs yet.
Really?
That's
Double
one
Dogs is
restaurant
good.
here I have not ate at yet.
When are you going to do lunch there one day? Me and
We
you and
have to.
You know what? Chelsea and I are going to do burning questions. We always do that with Double
We have
Dogs.
to, yeah.
We'll have you on
I
that.
haven't
think
had Double Dogs yet.
Mr. B's flavor.
That's what got to me.
What's your
Their
go-to flavor?
The hot honey mustard and the
That's mine.
sweet red chili, something like that.
The hot honey or the spicy beer mustard or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, my
the spice.
God.
That's what it is.
Good.
Oh, it's like, what did y'all drop it in? I want to walk back there and see the bucket of what they dropped that sauce in, because it's amazing.
I'm gonna say though, as long as you order it and don't go in and get it, I like Wingstop.
Wingstop's good. Wingstop's good.
Their wings can be greasy though a little bit.
They can, which I'm fine with.
Really?
I grew up on deli food. Like my grandmother co-owned a like delicatessen, cooked hamburger stuff. It was always greasy.
Okay.
So
Where was that?
In Frankfurt.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Sounds really good.
I like it greasy, but not too greasy, because the box is nothing but grease.
Yeah.
Like you could recook it if you set it outside.
But I've walked in Wingstop before, ordered, and sat there for 50 minutes before my wings came. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, they always take forever.
They
What
ate them.
happened?
They're like, these wings were looking really good, Mr. Booba.
Are you like the lemon pepper person? Because that seems like that's everybody's thing.
No, I always get usually the hottest flavor.
Okay.
I like spice.
Have
So
you ever been to Hooters?
like once or twice.
Have you ever been to Hooters?
I've never been there.
So they have we were just talking about this in my family's group chat the other night,
Garbage wings.
and they have a sauce, 911 sauce.
Oh.
I had it when I was probably 13. I ain't never had it since.
Oh no.
You only call 911 once after you have that.
Oh no. I'm
it was
good.
fire.
Oh, that don't even sound right.
It was
have-
not fun.
So when I was on the road, the guys make fun of me because we went to this place called Quaker Steak and Lube in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
and
There's more
What kind
than
of place
one.
is that?
Yeah. It's like Steak and Shake meets Wingstop.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And so delicious.
Sounds good.
But I ordered 6 hot wings, and then I ordered 6 of their. I had to sign a waiver of these wings, the hottest flavor. Like I had to be.
Really?
I had to show my ID, show them I was over 18, and I was putting
Promise
on,
not to sue him.
I ate one and started sweating, started crying, nose is running, and the guys are just laughing at me. I was like, it's good to eat.
You probably liked it too. Some people like that.
I only ate one.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't finish them all. Like I can eat the blazing or whatever at B-Dubs, and I can eat the hottest Wingstop, but this was a different level.
The XX hot at Mr. B's is not bad.
No, good.
That's one thing I do like about Mr. B's is they're hot, still has flavor to it.
Yeah.
If you do hot just to kill me, I'm not there for it.
I'll stick to the yellow and orange area. I'm not going red.
Why do we always end up on food?
Because food is life.
Did you listen to last week's where we talked about chicken nuggets for 17 minutes?
Really?
Yes.
Was it 17 minutes?
It was 17 minutes.
It would have been 30 if I was here. I love food.
This man thinks he can put away 60 chicken nuggets.
If you put 60 nuggets in front of me right now, I'd eat them all.
You'll eat it?
I would eat them all. From McDonald's.
That's a hard question.
Yeah, I have to see that. I have to see that.
I told McDonald's if they'll sponsor a podcast, Andrew, Booba, me, and we'll have Donovan back. Between our number, we have to eat 210 nuggets.
That'd be pretty dope.
I think it'd be fun.
They got some good new hot sauce too. Y'all should try it.
McDonald's does?
Yeah,
I like their sweet and sour, just the old school sweet and sour.
that's good too.
Yeah. Why are their wings shaped like a shoe? Or their nuggets?
It is, ain't it?
It's shaped like a shoe.
Or an ear.
Or an ear. Yeah. Why? Why do they McDonald's? Riddle me that. What are we doing? We got to get off McDonald's. We're really pressuring
Are you on
McDonald's.
McDonald's again?
Yes, Swanson, we're on McDonald's again.
It's like 3 minutes late.
Bro's over there with McDonald's in his mouth right now saying, "Oh, we're on McDonald's again."
I got a McDonald's smoothie over there, actually.
That's
I got some
funny.
good smoothies.
What's your favorite part about growing up in Bowling Green and staying in Bowling Green? It can be cheesy
As
too.
a kid, just it being a small city.
People
and,
don't
you know,
realize it is a city. It's like a small
like
city.
a little small town, you know. But as you get older, that could be a curse, you know. Growing
Everybody
up in a small
knows
town,
everybody.
You know, it's just a. Yeah.
What was your favorite thing to do growing up?
I'm very artsy. I draw. I did
you?
a lot of paintings that went into the Capitol Arts when I was a kid. A lot of people don't know I used to draw. Yeah. I love painting and stuff.
I still draw stick figures, and
Do
I
you?
draw a damn good stick figure.
That's bad. That's badass right there.
I can't draw anything.
Oh, okay.
My
Yeah, I'm
aunt,
really.
she can draw whatever you want, sketch it out. She can do it.
Yeah.
And Booba was showing us some artwork that one guy had that, you know, he's got the painting up there.
I'm not that good, but I'm really I like doing stuff like that, like the
Do you
nature,
still do it?
pastels. If I'm bored, I
You
will.
just kind of fiddle around with it. It's like
Do
me
it,
on a
yeah.
piano. I'll just
Yeah.
sit down at my piano and play, and
Yeah.
then 2 hours has passed.
Yeah, it's a talent I don't really use unless I'm just really bored.
Yeah.
I tried to do a sip and paint one time
Oh yeah,
at my house. I did that. That was pretty cool.
At your house?
Yeah.
There's one of the businesses here that does
Side
that.
hustle.
Really.
You should
Here in
do
Bowling
that.
Because I was looking for one here, and people was telling me it's
Maybe
in Nashville,
maybe
so that's why I did
COVID.
it at my house.
There's
Maybe
one in, we have some friends that run one in Russellville.
There's one
Okay.
here in town. I know it.
I was told there was not one here, so that's
May
why I
have
did
shut
one at
down.
my house.
May have shut down because of COVID.
Yeah.
What if you got a little studio and did that?
I would love that.
That would be so
love
fun.
it,
I'd come
yeah.
to it. I'd draw the hell out of some stick figures for you, girl.
That's what's up.
But I don't want wine. Give me a beer and I'll draw a stick figure for real. That'd be funny.
There's
Yeah.
something wrong with you.
My parents have been saying it for years. So growing up in Bowling Green, you were active in the arts community and down at the Capitol.
Yeah.
I miss the Capitol being like a spot, man.
Yeah, it was.
I
It
did all my
was.
high school shows there. It was so fun.
That was a thing. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Ray Charles has been on that stage.
Yeah, I was told.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Beautiful building. Super cool.
Yeah.
You still got that old marquee out there.
Right.
I wish they'd show movies there.
That would
Like
be pretty
during the
dope.
summer, what my goal was years ago was for them to bring the screen down and do classic movies.
Yes.
Like Godzilla. Like
I think it'd
old
be
school
dope if they
movies.
reopen that building up and make it like an old school theater and
Yes.
just play like just old school movies from like the 50s to the 70s.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope.
Swanson's gonna come over here and chime in. I
That would be
I
really
think
dope.
that would be so
Ladies and
fun.
gentlemen, Andrew Swanson.
Thank you, Lord.
I have an opinion.
Okay.
I'm joking. Hey, no, for real though, something we're trying to do is get a film festival in Bowling Green and have the main location, the Capitol. and having it
Yeah.
be
Fun.
That'd be
showing the main films, and then the social area that's right on on the sides, to where a lot of, I don't know, like where people can converse and things like that. But yeah, that's a thing that's in the works right now. So
And then reopen that art gallery, because
That would be
there's
dope.
2 art galleries in there too. It's beautiful.
They should have it like where people who like to do art can just a place where they can put their art in there and just try to get it sold.
And be open to the public.
That'd be really dope.
That'd be so cool.
Bowling Green needs some
Swanson, I
stuff
really
like
hope that you do that, because
Yeah.
I would be a huge. I think you got 2 people here right now that are saying we would be there. We would go
yeah,
to it.
I would love that stuff.
2022.
I have
Or
a,
like clay stuff, like artery with
Oh, yeah.
pots
Yeah.
and stuff. That's
I
stuff
have a
like that.
question for you.
Yeah.
Growing up in Bowling Green, obviously seeing it grow, what's something you would like to see happen here? Either an event or a place
Okay.
or
I have to say just more events. Just more stuff for us to do outside of the bars and the typical stuff they build, like restaurants. Like stuff like we said with pottery, art. There's people who like to do comedy shows.
oh, that would be fire. A little
Yeah.
comedy, like a little comedy club.
Like a Baby Zanies.
yeah.
Let's call it Banies.
Yeah. That would be really dope.
That'd be fun.
Or people with into music,
Yeah.
like
we got tid
country
balls,
night
but
and-
you have to be 21, and if you're not drinking, it's not fun to go watch a bunch of drunk people at a bar.
Yeah.
I'm from Clarksville, Tennessee, and there's a winery down there called Beach Haven Winery, and every Saturday during the summer they do it's called Jazz on the Lawn.
Uh-huh.
Now you can bring your own coolers, but you can buy their wine and bring your food. You don't have to drink, but it's this giant open area
Okay.
at the winery with live music.
That's pretty dope.
Why don't we have that?
We need to have stuff like that
Stuff
here.
like, and I'm not
Yeah.
saying we need a winery, because I know that that's difficult. We can't just make a winery
Yeah.
happen. But why in the world when we do it? We used to have the concerts in the square, concerts in the park.
Concerts and art stuff.
It was so
and
fun.
Stuff for kids with disabilities and
Yeah.
just having stuff for married people to do, some stuff like they love to do, a
If you're
night
married,
like that or something.
the 3 of us are. If you're married in Bowling Green, it's like, I guess we'll go to Elmas tonight.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with Elmas, but
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 20 years now.
Yeah. I think they need to have stuff like that for married couples, simply because I feel most married people feel like they're limited to even enjoying life anymore. It's like a lot of people get married and they don't think they can do like certain stuff anymore. I don't
Yeah.
believe in that.
I think
Just to have a
that's
night.
fair.
Where,
I would agree with that.
it's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
what
still
you
can do
put
stuff.
into it.
Yeah.
If you're going to make the effort to go on vacations and go, of course, we've been in a year now where we couldn't even go out to eat even if we wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
It's very trying,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we've got to do something to make people want to be around people again.
Yeah.
And we got to make it to where people are enjoying being around other people
Enjoying
again.
it.
It's one thing to be forced to be around people, or maybe not even be forced. It's one thing to be around other people.
Yeah.
It's another thing to enjoy your time while you're around those people.
Yeah, enjoying your family, because you got a lot of stuff for single people to do.
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, strip clubs, bars,
Yeah. I mean,
so
you're right.
stuff for couples to do, married people to do, so they can still, spice up the marriage and stuff
Yeah.
like that, instead of just sitting at home, because that creates arguments and misery.
Do you want to get
Sitting at
married?
home all the time? Oh yeah.
You do?
I'm a family person. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said that. That's kind of why I just assumed, but
I'm big on family.
good.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome. Do you remember, well, you definitely don't. Do you remember the old Beach Bend?
Yes.
Like
I
with
do.
the concrete water slides?
Yes, I do. Yep. Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. You brought it back.
Do you
Yeah.
remember how bad those were?
Yeah.
It looked like,
Didn't one of the roller coasters break? And they had
don't
to
ask me.
rebuild the roller coaster.
That's another thing. I don't get on roller coasters.
Really?
No.
That's like my favorite
And
thing to get on.
I've ridden them too. Like my brother is he did the Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar
Yeah.
Point. It goes swoosh, and then shoo, and he was like, you remember Donkey on Shrek? Let's do that again. That was him. That was my brother, man.
Now I love the Michael Jackson ride, the one they purchased from his
the
amusement
ship?
park.
Look,
I love
I
stuff like
love
that.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I won't get on that ship. You could be like, they could say, hey, you can sit in the exact same seat Michael Jackson sat in. I'm gonna be like, okay, don't turn it on.
Yeah, you just
I
don't,
just
you don't
don't-
like being in the air. Is that what it is? You just
I
don't
always
like
wanted to
being
be
in
a superhero too and fly, but I think it's because I would have the power and I could control it.
there? Yeah.
I don't like that out of control sensation.
But say you're not saving nobody. You want to be a superhero.
Somebody's like falling, and I'm like, I'll get you when you're down here.
I wait till you fall.
Yeah, I won't let you break your neck, but it'll be really close. That's funny. God, that's funny. So when you were growing up,
Yeah.
you went to school here and all that kind of fun stuff. What? And he said, what was something you would like to see?
Yeah.
What's something that you maybe don't love that's changed in Bowling Green? I don't love the traffic.
The traffic.
It's gotten big.
That's a good question.
true.
That's a great question.
So
That is a great question.
what's something that's changed and you're like, I miss the old Bowling Green. You know what I mean? Be honest. You can be offensive.
I feel like they limited a lot of stuff for the kids to do. When I was a kid, we had a lot of stuff to do outside.
Yeah, man.
It's like limited, like because everything's turning into technology.
You're
so I
right.
just feel like things is just.
We had Zap Zone. Well, I
had
mean,
a
that
lot of
wasn't
stuff.
outside, but
stuff like that. Like we had a lot of like the skate rink was the thing back then when I was a kid.
You remember going to skating rinks?
Skating rink and
Yeah, I'm
all
not
that
from
stuff,
here,
but
so
they
no.
don't really have that.
Come on, ride the train. Come on, ride it. You remember that? You're all right. Come on, ride the train. It's a-
Or an adult skating rink would be pretty dope, I think, to have.
well, they
Bowling
have the
Green.
ice skating rink downtown, but nobody wants to fall on ice. It hurts.
Yeah, you're welcome, Booba. So, I think what Bowling Green lacks the most is outdoor places,
Activities,
like
yeah.
the riverfront. Because I know that there was a big push to do a huge renovation of the riverfront to make it like,
And it got
that's something like that needs to happen. I think that's a big thing that Bowling Green is missing.
100%.
Like have a band play out there and like put the lights and redo the bridge. That'd be really dope.
Well, let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge area for homelessness too.
True.
And do you think maybe that's part of the reason that we can't do that, because it's kind of thought of in a negative way? If you thought, hey, I'm going to spend $10 million and renovate this, but what about if all those homeless people like gather under the bridge? Do you think maybe that's part of the reason it hasn't happened? Or could be a reason? I don't know. I guess I'm just talking out loud, but like,
No.
there's such a negative stigma that's associated with that. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they have things like that. I believe they just don't want nothing to do with it. They don't want to put their money in it.
That's the truth.
You know,
People
they
don't want to
They
spend
don't
money.
want to spend their money into it. So they rather just let it just sit and sit and sit, and that's where the homeless people lay.
Yeah.
But
I get it. We're going to kind of wrap up. I just wanted to check with you on a couple things. If you could tell somebody, let's do this. If you could tell your younger self one sentence, say you're 13, 14 years old, what would you tell your younger self? What's something you would tell yourself?
self accountability is really big. Self accountability. So when you go into life, put self accountability first.
Okay. And just hold yourself to a better standard.
Hold yourself to a better standard. Have morals and goals about yourself. And if you do something wrong, take self accountability.
Yeah. If you are looking 10 to 15 years from now, what's something that you hope to have achieved?
To be working at a news station.
There you go.
Of course. And to have a house with a farm. I love the farm life.
What's your favorite farm animal?
I want to get some horses.
I'm scared of horses too.
Horses and cows and
I'm
roosters.
scared
I
of
want 'em.
horses too, man.
I want them.
Yeah.
And marriage and kids.
Awesome. I love that. Tell everybody what you have coming up, going on, other than the documentary series.
Okay.
What's something else that you've got coming up and coming on, and where can people connect with you?
I might do the pageant again. I was doing the Miss Black Western, but it
Okay.
got canceled of COVID, so I might be doing that next semester. And I will be interning at 2 places, one in Louisville, one in Bowling Green. I'm not saying just yet.
Okay.
And
you told me, but I can't tell
yeah,
anybody.
I told you.
Not telling nobody.
You and my mom. And just more documentaries will be on the way, and yeah, that's all I can say right now.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you're doing awesome.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see what else you accomplish.
Thank
I
you.
have no doubt that you will. I know if Chelsea was sitting here with me, she'd want me to tell you the same
yeah.
thing. And we want to invite you back to be on this show down the
Okay.
road. Maybe do like a round table with some people.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And then Chelsea and I will also be in touch about doing burning questions with us.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too. This is really
Thank you.
dope. I
Did you
like
have
it.
fun?
My setup and everything. Yes, very professional. So
Yeah.
keep
We'd
going.
love to have you back. And if you guys want to connect with Shikira, you can definitely connect on Facebook.
Yes.
And then what other handles do you have?
or they can email me at s_Tunstill Tunstill @yahoo.com.
Look how easy that was for her. Harrison was like,
Professional.
HBG underscore. HBG
She
underscore.
also said Mim.
And he said, I said, Harrison, what's your handle? He goes, HB underscore 35. I was like, what? HB underscore 35. And you're over here, you're like, S_Tunstill, TUNSTILL. So that's awesome. All right. And
Yeah.
are you on Instagram or anything like that?
Nope, I'm just on Facebook.
What? Is
I
that
know,
part of
everybody
the
gets on me
social
about
media
that.
thing?
I'm not a social media person, and I had like a bunch of followers on Instagram. I deleted it. I'm just not a social
I'm
media
proud of
person
you.
at all.
I'm proud of you.
So send them
I
our way.
just- Yeah, I just
Awesome.
I'd rather.
And one last thing, if you could tell the younger generation anything, look into one of those cameras and just give them a little piece of advice, because you yourself are young, but you're very well versed in what it is that you love to do and the feelings that you have. So what's something that you would tell the younger generation, and we'll hop out of here?
To express yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself and to speak and to not be silent. If it's anything on your mind, say it. Don't let nobody make you feel what you said was wrong. That's just how you feel, and be yourself, and don't let nobody steer away from your true self at all.
Amen to that. Thank you so much for coming on. Episode
you.
4 is in the books.
Yes.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.